Okay, everybody. This is Marianne again, and I have Ali Alejandra Borda, who's with me, who's currently taking the PLI program, and so she was willing to come and say a few words and talk about her experience. Because for me, it's always more interesting to see hear what people have gone through, and also to kind of experience it. So. Um, there is a short experiential for people on my YouTube channel. I'll put it on Facebook at some point too. But so Ali, yeah. So I'm kind of curious as to your experience. We haven't gone too deep into this group, this session of PLI, but what's your experience been like so far?
Yeah, happy to share. Well, we've had two sessions so far, and I think in both, like, kind of like the overall feeling is just like stepping in, like, as soon as you go into meditation and into this work, you feel this kind of pure calm, kind of as if you were like laying on top of the river or like a lake,
Mm,
just like laying there,
nice.
and it's like you can just like enjoy. Like, I'm a very kind of type A, kind of like running around. My head is always always running, and as soon as you get into the work and we start a meditation with Marianne leading it, like, it is a smooth shift towards, okay, I come into this relaxing state where I don't have to do any effort to actually calm my mind, but I'm just in this space and there's no thoughts, like literally no thoughts, just because of being here. And it also allows me to actually, like, my body relax completely and come even more deeply into the space. So yeah, that's been like my general kind of sense with the work, but it also like translates into, like, okay, once it's done, when I come back to the kind of like the turmoil of the everyday, kind of every minute kind of life, you hear like that it's everything so fast. You're just more calm throughout the day, but also you get like that contrast of like being in this pure
Mm,
state versus being in the like in your mind, or moving around, or thinking about the future, the present. Like, no, like,
mm.
when I was in this space, I was not thinking about any past nor future, and I was just like, like, I am complete right now, like, I don't need anything else. And when I go back into like the everyday life, it's like, oh, like, there's always something I need to do or somewhere I need to be. And then if I can come back to that feeling of like the feeling I had during the session, it's like, oh, I could carry this feeling throughout my day, and it would be much better.
So have you been able to, like, just kinda tap in afterwards? So we do the session, and then later throughout the week, just kinda like, "Oh, yeah, remember that," and be able to kind of find that reference point within yourself to kind of bring it back into your everyday experience. Have you found that that's been helpful in doing the sessions?
More or less, like, it has been throughout, like, okay, more as a reminder of kind of doing it, and with special referencing, like if I just focus on the breath, or in the kind of like the distance between me and other objects within the room, kind of like I can remember the feeling of POI and kind of bring it in, but it's not
Mm,
as strong as when we are actually doing the session, like, because on the other hand, it's like more of like kind of like walking, like going through a smooth like going like you just like roll through a smooth like avenue, and then you arrive to this like deep clearing, and like
yeah.
with the, like, as if you were in nature, and just like you're there enjoying. And when it's like when it's by my own, like, I can tap into a certain level of that, but it's more about like, okay, like, I am actively trying to do it, so there's the mind still trying to get in. But it does help. Like, I just walk around, like, go on walks and stuff like that, and instead of turning into music or turning into anything else, or just like skip having my mind spinning, I can be able to, okay, like, let's go back to the breath, some grounding, feel my body, and yeah, stop the mind and come more into the present, kind of like that feeling.
Yeah, nice. So it kind of gives you an extra reference point basically to bring that in, and
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in a group setting, it's not going to. You've got that strength of the group, and then with me, really bringing it, amping it up for you. So, and have you done any of the replays?
No, I actually haven't done any of the replays. I should do them. But one thing that comes to mind that is, I don't know why it comes to mind because it's not related to what we've been talking about, but it's about how when we're in this pure state, even though we're not thinking about like any career paths or what should I be doing or any activities I should be doing, where like after doing the PLI, it has been even stronger, that feeling of okay, like I might be doing this job or I might be doing this work or that or trying to reach out to these people, and like that's no longer pure for me. Like that's just reaching out of myself instead of like within, how we're doing with POI. So it has been like strength, like it has shown a flashlight to like everything that might not be pure for me, in very
Right.
different ways through like in the past 2 weeks, which has been like quite a ride.
Right. Yes. No, that's a really good point. So it's about bringing it. So we go into this experience, and that's the experience of doing this kind of work, but of we dive into it, whether it's through a session, through something like PLI, like Ply, and and then it really makes us aware of what needs to go to be able to get to a deeper state. So that's a really good point. So really bringing to the surface what needs attention and what needs to be straightened out in our lives. It sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely. And even though during the sessions we don't touch upon it, like you don't say
Mm,
it literally like as words, but being in this pure like essence where it's like you don't have any, like I feel like whenever I go into the space, like a lot of weight is released. Like I literally
mm,
feel like the weight is released and there's like nothing kind of like putting me like this. So I think that when I come back into my life, I'm being able to like into the everyday life. I'm more able to see what is that constraints that I'm feeling in
mm.
my external life, that I don't feel when we're in the sessions. And it's interesting because we don't actually talk about it through the session. So it's more of a discovery journey, like throughout the day and being aware.
Right. So that's kind of it can feel a little awkward, but that is a benefit because when we're trying to get to a more peaceful state of for ourselves, then how do we get there when we don't know what around us is doing that? So this is kind of basically really bringing it to the surface so that you can kind of shift that for yourself. Yeah, and I think it kind of depends on the person because I know some people have actually really shifted through things through the ply session. So I'm kind of curious from your experience. Who would you say this program is would be good for? Who would benefit from doing this program?
I would say that like everyone, because like if I think about it, like I've been doing meditation, math work, different meditation work, mindfulness, goal setting, and stuff like that. And for me, like this work is kind of like the only one that has stuck with me, and that
Mm,
actually I feel the changes, and it's like going within and discovering more of myself. So like everyone who wants to live more aligned life with what their true purpose or like whatever they want to do in their everyday lives, more aligned to themselves. But it's like it's for people who are like their mind is racing, they want to achieve, they're like overachievers, they're always on the go go go. And then this allows you to take a step back and actually bring yourself and be in that moment where like sometimes it, the main reason why we're like actually going and like stressed out is because there's something within that needs our attention and we don't give ourselves the space to actually look at it. So like having this
mm.
space like opens up the opportunity to actually go within and explore it and then work through it. So it's for those kind of people who are like want to take like that, okay, that breather from their day. But it's also from the people who are already in the group of okay, I'm in the flow and like understanding this, but want to dive deeper into okay, what's what's still there trying to holding me back. Like I'm already very conscious throughout my day, meditating and stuff like that. But okay, but I want to like experience more. I want to get rid of everything that is not like pure for me. And those who are like curious about meditation, like this is
Mm.
like a lot of people say that they don't meditate because it's hard for them to actually stay focused and present for 10 minutes. Well, try this feeling, and you're not gonna want to like go away from it. Like once the session is over, I'm like, okay, can we just stay here like hanging out for more 10 minutes longer?
Yeah, so that's interesting. You bring out kind of a lot of variety of people. You know, it's like we think, well, and I want to clarify a little bit too. It's meditation in the sense that we go into a deeper space, but then there's this whole piece about the frequency and the energies and the frequency infusions that I really bring to people with that specific focus of coming coming into our pure essence of
Mhm.
ourselves and pure life. So it's kind of this double whammy. But you make a kind of an interesting point because you say, well, okay, it's for the type A person who's busy running around, and that just as much as it is for the person who does the meditation on their own. And we kind of have a tendency to think it's like, well, this kind of stuff, it's like, no, okay, you got to be into meditation and all that, but you're saying it's like, oh, okay, type A, it's like you could do this. This is going to be so helpful for you.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. That's great that it can be, applied across the board for so many people. Um,
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like when like everyone who just goes to like the forest or like an amazing view for a few seconds, like everyone enjoys it because they're like, oh, so in the moment and can connect with it and just like discovering their like just enjoying that essence. And as you said, like coming into their pure essence, it's also about doing the work and actually going through like the filters or anything that might be holding you back of like actually living the life that is like for you. And so yeah, it's about enjoying the pure space, and then actually trying to work out throughout the day of how do I actually bring in that pure state like all the time for me rather than just in the few sessions.
right. And one thing that comes to mind as you're talking is like, well, you said it's kind of hard to recreate that on your own to find it again. I mean, you kind of do. Of course, it's not so intense, but it's kind of clearly there because you all of a sudden are starting to notice it's like, wait, this is not in sync here. This isn't, so obviously it's kind of clearly there, but it's kind of showing up for you in the sense that you notice what doesn't match, kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. So
And it's
it's
sometimes hard to actually let go of what doesn't match.
yeah.
But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I now notice that that's not as aligned, and it's more like it kind of screams to you now a little bit more than how before you just went along with it if it wasn't actually for you.
Right. So that really shows that in that session you really get integrated. That state of being really gets integrated, and then you kind of like really notice it when you step out of that. So cool. Well, is there anything else you want to add?
Mm,
Any
no, just if you're curious, just try it out because like honestly, if anything, it's like going to the spa. Like you just feel like more relaxed. Like if you yeah, it's if anything, it's both a work in progress and like actually hard to break through the challenges and like the filters. But if you're just curious to try, like you're gonna experience like half an hour of a spa, like and feeling so connected and I actually get the chills every time we do it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, okay, yeah, thanks, Ally, for sharing your thoughts. So again, if you look at the description below on YouTube, there is a link to try that. There's a sampler, so about a 7 minutes long to really get that a brief experience of what the PLI program is like if you'd like to try it in. Also, if you are interested and want more information, you can reach us at customer@unboundedandfree.com, and at the website, unboundedandfree.com. You can get more information there as well. So thanks for tuning in, and maybe we'll see you on the next PLI program. Thanks again.